Yo, what's good, my nephews and nieces? This is your favorite uncle, Uncle Jimmy, and today I have another special banger for you, all right? Today we're going to talk about some new patch notes that's going to be coming in for Season 4. This is huge. Before we get into the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, as liking the video puts the video to the recommended, and of course subscribe and put your note again for my daily uploads. Without further ado, let's hop straight into this video. Okay, so let's get right into it. So 2K just dropped some patch notes, which is going to be very big because to me, this is some really big changes that is going to change the dynamic of the game. There's 4 different ones that they did gameplay wise. There's a lot of other stuff that they did, but to me and to us, obviously for park players and stuff, it's really just about the gameplay that we really are concerned about. And the first one is going to say they separated light pressure coverage into 3 bands: weak, moderate, and strong for more detailed shot feedback. So what does that mean? It'll say light. So I'm guessing what it's going to say is light pressure, and then it's going to say weak, light pressured moderate, or light pressured strong. I'm guessing because I guess with light pressure there is still levels to it to where people are still having a concern about whether or not how light pressured that was, because I'm guessing, well, I'm not gonna say guessing, I know where I feel like there shouldn't be any pressure at all, and I'm like, yo, why is it that light pressured? Well, at least now if I know if the dude is like, you know, 2 arm lengths away from me, it's gonna say light pressured weak. I'm guessing, like, I'm really interested to see how this is gonna translate into the game, but that's what I'm thinking. It's gonna say light pressured, weak, moderate, and then strong added right afterwards. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I'm thinking when it says is that they're gonna get the coverage into 3 bands: weak, moderate, and strong. Or it'll just say weak pressure, moderate pressure, or strong pressure, right? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, the more information or the more data that we can get on our jump shot responses and coverages, the better the game's gonna be, right? There's never such thing as not having enough data. Like, you want to get as much feedback as you possibly can so you can get an understanding of the game. So that makes sense. Then the second thing is trailing defenders will no longer be able to interrupt skilled dunk attempts and force dunkers into layups when bumping them from behind. Listen, God is good. I've been complaining about this since Season 1. I've been complaining about, like, listen, everybody knows I love, I'm a slasher at heart. I'm, lockdown at heart. I just love those type of gritty, slashing, defending type builds. And it has literally sapped the fun out of the game when you're going for a dunk and someone from behind you just rips the ball from you or pushes you out of an animation. You're like, well, how did I get knocked out of that animation? He's not even in front of me, right? So now, thank God, we're finally going to be able to go to the basket, and if the person's behind us, continue the animation without any interruptions, right? It makes sense. The only time I should be knocked out of animation if somebody's literally in front of me and jumps early and I'm far from the basket, right? So those are the type of things that should be happening, and it looks like we're finally going to put ourselves in a position to where we can finally get slashers and dunk and do what we want to do with the, what our eyes are telling us the game is now going to give us, right? So that's a W. Then we have another one here. It says adjusted the restitution between the ball and the rim to better reflect real life physics and reduce the frequency of excessively long rebounds on missed shots. Never knew that was an issue. I didn't know there was a lot of long rebounds. Maybe there was, but now that we know that that's not going to be a lot of long rebounds, I guess that's going to be a big thing there. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Have y'all had a lot of issues with that? Because I know I haven't had any type of issues with any long rebounds, or thought that there was any long rebounds or that type of sort. But if there is, and you had that complaint, well, guess what? That has now been addressed. So there you have it. And then we have another one here. It says enable the offensive 3-second rule for 1v1 proving grounds and 1v1 ante-up games. Okay, so for all my nephews and nieces that don't know, there was 6 seconds in the paint. So bigs that were paint mashing literally had 6 seconds. Now in the park, in the theater, and those other places, they're still gonna be that same thing. Most people that play 2K know there was never really a true 3 seconds, right? Well, guess what? Now, in Proving Grounds and Ante-Up, you only have 3 seconds in the paint, which is an official NBA rule. Okay, so this is not nothing that's new. In the NBA, in college, in high school, in middle school, in rec, right? You have a 3-second rule that has always been in NBA in basketball since as long as basketball has been around. Like it's really been a very old rule. I think maybe they implemented the rule with Wilt Chamberlain. I think and I know a lot of my historians in here will let me know. Wilt Chamberlain, I'm pretty sure that's when they implemented the 3-second rule for Wilt Chamberlain. But Wilt Chamberlain, they did a lot of rules for him. That's just how great a player he was at the time, ahead of his time he was. They implemented a lot of rules for him. But yeah, so now if you're playing in Proving Grounds or Ante-Up, or which is the stage, you're big. You now only have 3 seconds, which makes sense. I mean, no one wants to sit there and see a center readjust himself, back down, get 6 seconds. Now, once that foot hits the paint, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3, you better make a move. To me, this is a massive W. Now, I want to know what y'all think about that. But to me, that is a massive W. I have a lot of builds that are post scores, right? So, and me personally, I have no problem with that because this is basketball. This is how it should have been from day one. Centers will definitely, when it comes to the stage and when it comes to the Proving Grounds, are definitely gonna get that's a nerf for them because a lot of them are so used to just sitting in the paint and just paint mashing. And now you only have 3 seconds to make your move and get your shot up. So I like that. That should even out the playing field a little bit more for the the matchups when when a guard ends up being in there with a center needs to make a decision and keep it moving. All right, but for the most part, that's it. Yes, they have some My Team patch notes. They have some My NBA. They have the W patch notes. They have player likeness and all that other type deals. Like what I'm saying, there's just a lot of stuff in here. Player rankings will now sort correctly on the Friends tab. I'm not even sure. Oh, on the leaderboard in Play Now Online. You see what I'm saying? The logo was fixing. Like you see the players and coaches have received likeness updates. So a lot of the players and coaches or NBA uniforms got likeness updates and that type of sort. So there's a lot of things in here, but for the most part, I feel like the gameplay was the most important. But y'all let me know about these little things that we just brought up. Are these W's? Are they not? I know there's some other things that people have some issues or worries about or concerns about. I'm definitely interested in hearing that. But other than that, it's your favorite old head Uncle Dimmy. I'll be back really, really soon with the banger, man. When I say back soon with the banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.